Hello friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. My name is Aditi Vaze. I'm a clinical psychologist from Mumbai University. My topic today is influence of media and social media. Media technologies are becoming an important aspect of today's society. Each and every day, people interact with media of many different forms. Media is commonly defined as being a channel of communication. Mass media is technology that is intended to reach a mass audience via radios, newspapers, televisions, internet, etc. Since many people use media very frequently, it is obvious to assume that it has effects on people. According to the book Media Now, media effects are changes in knowledge, attitude, or behavior that result from exposure to the mass media. It is impossible to assume that media is made up of completely unbiased information and that all the media companies do not impose their own control upon the information being supplied to media users. This leaves us with many questions about media and its influences. The importance of media in India is also highlighted when the Union government formally launched the Digital India Week on 1st July in order to transform the country into a digitally empowered knowledge economy. Learning objectives: to introduce the learner to the definitions and influence of media and social media in our lives. This will not only educate them, but compel them to be a responsible netizen. Definitions: mass media. Mass media is any communication channel through which news, entertainment, education, data, or promotional messages are disseminated to a large population. For examples, newspapers, magazines, TV, radio, billboards, direct mails, telephone, fax, and internet are different forms of media. This term can also be used as a collective noun for press or news reporting agencies. Media have had tremendous growth from the 20th century. This fillip is due to the improvements in technology and increasing the amount of population available to receive that information. Influence of media. Media provide news and information required by people. Media can educate the public. Media helps a democracy function effectively. They inform the public about government, policies, and programs, and how these programs can be useful for them. This helps the people voice their feelings and helps the government to make necessary changes in their policies or programs. Media can entertain people. Media can act as an agent of change in development. Media has brought people of the world closer to each other. Media promotes trade and industry through advertisements. Media can help the political and democratic process of a country. Media can bring in positive social changes. Types of mass media. We start with broadcast media. It transmits information, a signal, a message, or content such as audio or video programming to numerous recipients simultaneously over a communication network. Examples of broadcast media are radio, television. Prasar Bharati is the public service broadcaster of our country. We go on to print media, which is mass communication through printed physical material. For example, newspapers, books, magazines, pamphlets, comics, etc. There is outdoor media, which is communication displayed in several places to spread a common message. Examples of outdoor media are signs, billboards, placards, etc. There is digital media, which is audio, video, and photo content that has been encoded or digitally compressed. Encoding content involves converting audio and video input into a digital media file. After digital media is encoded, it can be easily manipulated, distributed, and played by computers and is easily transmitted over computer networks. The example of digital media is internet services, emails, websites, mobile phone technologies, etc. Currently, the two most widely consumed media are certainly internet and television. This has to do with the fact that they allow the use of a diverse range of audiovisual resources that attract the attention much easier for the consumer. Let's start with the internet. The internet, or the net, is a global communication network that allows almost all computers worldwide to connect and exchange information. Today, the internet is a public, cooperative, and self-sustaining facility accessible to hundreds and millions of people worldwide. Any kind of information is readily available on the internet, making it one of the largest forms of mass media. One can use the internet for social networking, obtaining specific or general information, sending and receiving emails, publishing content, and more. Internet is the decisive technology of the information age, and with the explosion of wireless communication in the early 21st century, we can say that humankind is now almost entirely connected, albeit with great levels of infrequency in bandwidth, efficiency, and price. Internet availability is not limited to computers or laptops nowadays. Even mobile phones with internet facility are available at affordable prices, helping indirectly the internet to reach maximum number of users. In the recent years, everything is related or trying to relate to the internet. An important and significant detail is the immediacy with which the message arrives at the recipient, being able to send an email and receive it instantly, being able to also read updated news at the last moment on an internet news site, or being able to listen or get audiovisual material in the moment in which it is published. A simple case study shows how fast internet has grown. Television took more than 25 years to reach 10 million users, whereas computers took more than 10 years to reach the same number. But the internet took less than 5 years to reach the same number. Recent studies show that even in developing countries like India, more than 40% of people are using internet, and the purposes of internet usage is diverse. People are using internet for social networking, to know news instantly, to listen to music, to search, or to know something. Definition of social media. Social media are web-based communication tools that enable people to interact with each other by both sharing and consuming information. Social media use web-based technologies, desktop computers, and mobile technologies, for example, smartphones and tablet computers, to create highly interactive platforms through which individuals, communities, and organizations can share, co-create, discuss, and modify user-generated content or pre-made content posted online. Basically, media that enables collaboration of data or social sharing of data is referred to as social media. Social media doesn't just give you information, but it interacts with you while giving you that information. One of the most revolutionary aspects of social media is that it delivers information for free to a wide group of people with little or no time lag behind the actual event. In addition, anyone can publish news, information, or other resources which make anyone with access to the internet content creator. Content shared via social media has potential to reach one person or 1 million people depending on its reach, message, and audience. This makes social media and the people who use it just as powerful as the pillars of old media, that is newspapers, televisions, and magazines. Social media takes the form of blogs, social networks, wikis, podcasts, etc. Difference between traditional and social media. The line between the two is slowly thinning as each continues to evolve. Forms of traditional mass media are newspapers, televisions. Forms of social media are websites, blogs, social gaming. The audience for traditional mass media are in a passive position. They have to receive information from media houses. Traditional media operates under a monologic transmission model, which means there is one source and many receivers. The audience for social media, on the other hand, is at the center. Even the users can be content creators. Social media operate in a dialogic transmission system, which is many sources to many receivers. Quality of traditional mass media is controlled in the hands of the media houses, whereas quality of social media has freedom for any user to upload and share information. Reach of traditional mass media is generally more regional. Reach for social media has a wide group of people spread across geographically. Frequency of traditional mass media is newspapers, televisions, and radio shows, which all have fixed timetables. Whereas the frequency of social media has any kind of information which can be accessed anywhere and at any time with anyone having access to the internet. Usability of traditional mass media, where users have to pay to use newspapers, magazines, etc. Whereas social media delivers information almost for free. The immediacy with which news is received in traditional mass media is fixed, unchangeable, and has more time lag. Whereas in social media, it is an immediate transfer of news with little or no time lag. Traditional mass media has archives that are poorly accessible, whereas social media has archives that are easily accessible. This picture shows us data on India's use of internet and its services in 2016. Opportunities of media and social media are: media and social media have made the world a much smaller place and revolutionized the way that people communicate with each other for business and pleasure. They enable large content of information to reach extended around the world immediately. Connectivity. Regardless of the location, people from anywhere can connect with anyone without much time lag. Social media helps in building communities. It unites people on a huge platform for the achievement of some specific objective which can bring positive change in society. It makes it possible that many personal relationships across the world remain. The internet allows great speed of communication in the forms of emails, video calls, etc. E-commerce. E-commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services or the transmitting of funds or data over an electronic network, primarily the internet. Social media marketing is the use of social media platforms and websites to promote a product or service. Online shopping, doing banking transactions, online reservations for travel or entertainment can be easily done and saves a lot of time. Any job vacancy, emergency news, ideas, etc. can be shared in the website and the information is passed on quickly to wide area. People can earn livelihoods from online jobs. Business houses can generate consciousness about a particular product using platforms available on social media and give them a uniquely personal way to connect with their customers. Positive comments and sharing about a company can improve business sales and reputation. Nowadays, savvy businesses create online communities where customers and clients can exchange ideas, share experiences, and encourage innovation. Education. It is very easy to learn from experts and professionals via the social media. One can follow anyone to learn from them and enhance one's knowledge about any field regardless of the location and educational background. Students and experts are able to share and communicate with like-minded people and can ask for an input and opinion on a particular topic. It has interactive capabilities and immediate impact. Several universities are publishing their research paper in their websites, digital libraries, and helping other university students, researchers, and professors. Universities even have their admission procedures online. Unlimited information and knowledge. Search engines help to collect data from all over the world easily. For example, information related to education, government, laws, market sales, stocks and shares, etc. can be gathered from a single place. Endless entertainment. Movies, songs, videos, games, etc. are available on the internet, some even for free. Social networking is also possible using the internet. Social networking is the sharing of information with people across the world. Creating awareness about particular social issues and can even be used for noble causes. For example, to promote an NGO, social welfare activities and donations for the needy people. It also gives us information and updates. Positive media messages are helping to improve public understanding of major social and medical consequences of issues affecting the public. What are the challenges of media and social media? The digital footprint is a permanent trail that users of social media or the internet leave the moment they sign into any service. The digital footprint by its permanence can have serious repercussions in future, both in professional and personal areas of life. It is important to know that every activity online, posts on social media, accounts, comments left on various sites, tweets, retweets, etc. through the years can contribute to the digital footprint. Cyberbullying. The American Psychological Association defines bullying as aggressive behavior by an individual that causes discomfort to the other. Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to bully someone, usually by sending intimidating or threatening messages online. It is commonplace and causes emotional trauma to the one being bullied and sometimes even leads to suicide. Since anyone can create a fake account and do anything without being traced, it has become quite easy for anyone to be a bully on the internet. Children and teenagers are especially susceptible to cyberbullying because they take more risks when it comes to posting on social media and tend to overshare information. And now that they use the internet on all media via their mobile devices, most major platforms make it possible to share locations, opening up the doors for cyber stalkers to target them. Sexting, which is sending of sexually explicit messages online, is also on the rise. Addiction. Extensive online engagement is correlated with personality and brain disorders like poor social skills, ADHD, narcissistic tendencies, a need for instant gratification, internet addictions, and emotional distress like depression, anxiety, and loneliness. Addictions, namely internet, gaming, pornography, can disrupt personal lives. Spending countless hours on social sites can divert the focus and attention from a particular task and can waste time that could have been used in productive activities. Facebook depression is defined as emotional disturbance that develops when preteens and teens spend a great deal of time on social media sites. It is now a very real malady. Recent studies have shown that comparisons are the main cause of Facebook depression. The study showed that down comparison, which is comparing with inferiors, was just as likely to cause depression as up comparison, which is comparing with people better than oneself. However, there are contradictory reports as well. Another study showed that Facebook makes us happier and increased social trust and engagement among users. Given that our brains are wired to connect, it seems logical to expect that social networks, by enabling sharing, could cause a self-reinforcing sense of psychological satisfaction. These studies show that effects of social network on well-being hinges on how social networks are used, whether to connect or to compare. Technology can be more immediately gratifying than the labor of building an intimate relationship. Face-to-face contact is required among people. This leads to less direct contact with friends and family. Misinformation. Social media gives us an information overload. Fake news websites promote links to their totally false news. Stories on social media in order to drive traffic to them. Many users have no idea that they're fake in the first place. Social media makes it easy for spammers to bombard other people with content. Internet trolling is another phenomena where people start arguments or upset people by posting inflammatory, extraneous, or off-topic messages in an online community with the intent of provoking readers into an emotional response or of otherwise disrupting normal, on-topic discussion just for amusement. In psychology, heuristics are simple, efficient rules which people often use to form judgments and make decisions. They are mental shortcuts or rules of thumb that usually involve focusing on one aspect of a complex problem and ignoring others. These heuristics are very helpful in daily life, but are subject to biases and other errors that result in poor decision making. Availability heuristic proposes that we make decisions or judgments based on how easy it is to recall instances from memory. When people use categories in order to make a decision about a person, thing, or event, they are using representative heuristic. Thus, media can have serious impact on people's thinking. People tend to easily believe what is shown in the media and assume that everything that is shown is true. This makes fake information even more dangerous. Social media can be a breeding ground for illegal activity. There is so much illegal and inappropriate information available on the internet without any restrictions. Even children can access inappropriate content, for example, pornography, violence, etc. The internet is fast becoming a platform to share copyrighted or illegal material, music, videos, and other documents. Cybercrime and theft of personal information on the internet is becoming common. Media psychology is a branch of psychology that focuses on the relationships between media and human behavior. This applies to the individual and society as a whole. Basically, professionals in this field study how people interact with media and each other due to media influence. Summary. This brings us to a question of, can we teach children to use social media responsibly? The lack or difficulty in self-regulation and susceptibility to peer pressure makes adolescents vulnerable to such evils as Facebook depression, sexting, and cyberbullying, which are realistic threats. Other problems such as social network-induced obesity, internet addiction, and sleep deprivations are issues that continue to be under intense scrutiny for the contradictory results that have been obtained in various studies. The influence of media on adolescents and teenagers is of particular importance, not only because this particular group of children is developmentally vulnerable, but also because they are among the heaviest users of social networking. Adolescence is the time to spread wings and take the tentative first flight out into the world, and parents and caregivers must be a part of that process. In the domain of social networking, this entails parents becoming educated about the advantages and disadvantages of social networking and themselves joining social network sites, not to hover, but to be aware about the activities of their teenage wards. It is essential that parents are aware of and monitor privacy settings and online profiles of their wards. Open discussion about social network protocols and etiquettes would go a long way in establishing a global digital citizenship and healthy behavior. Every user is advised to keep their personal data and accounts safe to avoid incidents. The internet and social media is ubiquitous. It is a user-driven, two-edged sword, and its benefits depend entirely on the maturity and discretion of its users. Thank you for watching.